Just listen. That's all it's going to be, okay? But you can look at it, move it around. Okay? Just around. So we're going to talk a little bit today about what's called Japanese or Eiku. Okinawan's word Eiku is probably the least common, but it's the one we're going to use here. It's spelled E-I-K-U. And this is quite literally just a oar. I mean, it's what they used to paddle their boats when they would go out and go fishing. You still see these used from time to time, but mainly it's for Japanese dragon boat races or something like that. But these are actually oars. Now you may say, well, why are we talking about oars when we're talking about weapons? Well, back in the feudal days, when you went fishing, when you started home, you took your oar with you so nobody could steal your boat. It's kind of like when you lock your car. You don't leave the keys in it. Take the keys with you. Same thing. You take the oar with you, you might have some fish, and somebody decided they wanted to take your fish and you gave them your oar. Okay? So we're going to call this an Eiku. I want to tell you a little bit about it. It's about the same height as a bow, so we've already studied bow, and you're comfortable with that. In this case, though, it's got two different ends. So you do have what looks like a bow staff, and then you have the paddle. So on the paddle is actually shaped so they can be used as a weapon. So the tip up here is called the sake, and it actually is used for stabbing. Okay? The side is called the yoko, and it is used for actually a cutting maneuver. So you strike and pull. And then, of course, you have what's called the manuchi, or the rounded side, or the back of the paddle. So the other side is flat, with mine has a concave one, but that's what you would use to actually paddle with. The other side is called the manuchi. So when you strike with this, you either strike with the sake or with the yoko, and then you would block with the manuchi or the flex. It doesn't really matter, they're both about the same. This weapon does have a really cool secret trick, and it's called the sunda kaki. It's kind of a weird word, huh? But basically what that is you would dig your Eiku into the sand. Remember, they were fishing, so they were digging into the sand and then flip the sand into their opponent's face while they step forward and stroke. So it's called a sunda kaki. I'm not going to test you on that, but that's what it's called. The important thing to remember is you'll notice on this one, the sake is kind of pointed and a little bit sharp. So you don't want to just jam it into your foot. So one of the things that they got used to doing is when they would put it down, they lift the other foot just so they don't slam it into their foot. Make sense? So when you're striking with this, you can use either end, just like a bow staff, or an Eiku. Okay?